Parents of a toddler who suffers from an ultra-rare neurological disorder are racing to raise $2.5 million in hopes of developing an experimental treatment that may help their son survive. 3-year-old Henry Saladino suffers from alternating hemiplegia of childhood, or AHC. Now, there are only 1,000 sufferers worldwide, and patients with AHC are referred to as human time bombs. At any moment, Henry can stop breathing, have a life-threatening seizure, or become paralyzed, and there's no way to know when it will happen or if he will survive. And as of now, there is no treatment or cure. His parents, though, are striving to change that.
We remain forever hopeful. We've said when we started this journey, if the challenge is the money, we will find it. To hear when you're diagnosed that there's nothing that can be done, and then to realize that actually the science exists, you just have to work together to identify the right leaders, fund it, and organize the project. We're happy to get it done, but we couldn't do it without all of you and to our communities.
CNN's Alaa Elassar has been following this for us. She joins us now. Alaa, tell us about what this family goes through daily, hourly.
Of course. So I think the reality of Henry's family's life is something that is so difficult to wrap our minds around. 24/7, Henry's parents, Mary and Anthony, are constantly on watch for Henry to have a life-threatening seizure. They have no idea if it's going to last minutes, days, months. They have no idea if he's going to be paralyzed at any given time. And the worst part of their reality is that they are in a literal race against time, against permanent brain damage. Every time Henry has a seizure, he is at risk of brain damage. He's at risk of losing everything that he has worked so hard to learn. So, their daily life is basically just watching him, memorizing signs that he might be on the verge of another seizure. Most families, their lives are like, going to the beach, going to the lake, going to the playground. Henry's family has to think, will he be overwhelmed by these events that it will trigger a seizure? They can't go anywhere without their emergency rescue bag. The worst part of it, I think, is that, Mary had told me that they're constantly prepared. Whenever he has a seizure, she's almost ready to say her last words to him. And I think that's something that no parent or, anyone with a loved one can imagine, just being prepared to share your last words with someone while you're saving their life, let alone your baby. So it's just a really, really difficult and heartbreaking reality that they're dealing with.
Can't imagine. Can you talk a little bit about what AHC is?
Yeah, absolutely. So AHC is a neurological disorder. It affects 1 in a million people. So there are currently about 1,000 people worldwide who have it, but there are most likely more that just have gone undiagnosed. In Henry's case, he is caused by his mutation. It's a very specific mutation in his brain, and it causes one of the most severe cases of AHC, where really life-threatening seizures, very frequent and regular spells where he is not breathing, and he also has a lot of motor delays. It takes a lot of work for Henry to learn how to talk and how to eat, how to even breathe, how to walk. These small things that, for a lot of toddlers just come naturally. Henry's brain works incredibly hard to do it, and it works so hard that, these triggers, the worst part about AHC is that it can be triggered by any and everything. When he was a baby, he would seize every single time that, he took a bath. Sunlight can trigger seizures. Excitement can trigger seizures. So this basically means birthday parties, holidays, celebrations. Families with AHC think twice before, they do these things, because they have no idea if the excitement will trigger a seizure. And the reality is, of course, although, alternating hemiplegia of childhood, the name is a little bit deceiving because there are adults with it. It gets worse as you age. And the fear is that Henry, if he does not receive this treatment, he will have permanent brain damage, that all of these things will be reversed. He might forget how to walk and talk. He might even forget, the reality is things like saying mama and baba, he might forget how to say that. Yeah.
What is his family doing to raise money for his treatment? How are they going to come up with that $2.5 million?
Yeah, so Mary and Anthony are doing absolutely everything they could. They started their nonprofit organization for Henry. The crazy thing is that his parents are quite literally leading the development of this drug from scratch. It has never, again, like this ASO treatment that they're developing, it will take, once they have it, it's going to take about 12 months before Henry can get the drug and hopefully be treated. So they are quite literally in a race against time to raise the 2.5 million. They have their GoFundMe that they're, crowdsourcing money from. She's also constantly on the phone with neurologists and researchers learning as much as she possibly can about ASOs. They're going to, this drug, once they develop it, it's going to go through toxicology and testing to make sure that it's safe for Henry. So his parents are fighting for his life. They are moving, heaven and earth to get this treatment for Henry, and they're doing it as fast as possible.
Elassar, thank you.